world collapsed early Sunday morning. She got up from the kitchen table, folded the newspaper, and silenced the radio. Those creatures jumped the barricades and have headed for the sea. She began to breathe at the thought of such freedom. Stood and whispered to her child, belong. She held the child and whispered, with calm, belong.
Hello and welcome everyone to Aliens, Shoulder of Orion. We are here, we're so excited to be playing. We're gonna go around, we're gonna say who we are, who we're playing. I'll go first because I'm already talking. I'm Lindy, love Lindy, and I'll be playing Captain McKeelson, the galaxy's okayest captain, and really stressed out, maybe a little addicted to some substances of questionable origin medic of the group. And I'm sure that'll go entirely great. Below me here, we've got Granger to check. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I didn't think I'd be going this early in the round off, but hi. Yeah, I'm playing Hank Granger.
It's crazy.
He is a I mean, he's a bit of a Blade Runner in an alien universe, and he decided to trust a particular synthetic last week. Didn't want to take her choices away from her, so she took all of our choices away from us, kind of thing. Really questioned that whole plan there, but we'll see what happens if we live.
We'll see what happens if we live is, I thought I put people in the right places, is what Shiny Pilot would say if he was in his box, which I think he is now. He is great.
Some fast moving there. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm ready to play tonight. I'm gonna be
fast
playing,
emotion tracker. Good shit.
I know, it's just so good. I'll be playing Lance Corporal Jeff Blaze. He's a smart gunner here with the Marines, and just trying to make it back, man. Trying to survive. It's game over, man. Game over. At least he hopes it's not, but it could be. Who knows?
Someone who said it's game over for all of us as she stranded us on this planet was Nugatosaurus. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am not stranded on this planet, so it's it's fine.
It's all up for you. It's all looking
it's
up.
all up, literally. Hey, I'm Nugatosaurus. I am playing Violet 6, the synthetic human. I am a Nexus 7 model who's just trying her entire remembered life has been to protect her Marines, and that is what she's trying to do. So we'll see how that goes, I guess.
We'll see how that goes for one of those Marines. D20 coup de grace, how are you?
Yes, I'm playing Sergeant Red Ruer. He's a demolition specialist, and he's wondering if Violet is true with that, as he watches the ship fly away. But he'll live another day.
Yeah, we hope so. Or he won't. There's only two options there. Either we live or we die. And that comes down to a lot of what Dear Mother has in store for us today. Producer Trav, how are you tonight?
I told you never to call me Mother. Hi, I'm good. I'm Travis, producer Trav. No. Well, I guess I did say that. Damn. Well, we've
Yeah.
been playing this for so long, over these 24 golden episodes that, well, I was telling a colleague today that I've gone and created quite a fantasy, quite a fiction with many pieces on the board, and we're going to explore that tonight, slowly and steadily, in this exercise in tension that is Aliens Shoulder of Orion. Very glad that we're all here tonight. So I think it's cool if we get started here. So hey, how's it going?
Hi.
It's true that she stood and quieted her child, but she is not here. We are here, and we are on LV310, the egg. And Violet, why don't you tell us what your character decided to do at the end of the last episode?
Yeah, excellent timing. You got me right before I was about to put food in my mouth.
Oh man, you should have waited
Violet.
10 extra
Alright.
seconds. That's
10,
what
10
we do.
seconds. So last episode, Dr. Lynn was very concerned about Violet's headache and wanted to do a checkup, I guess,
Right.
which Violet kept putting off. And then towards the end, he showed up inside the egg where we were questioning a lady whose name I cannot remember, but whose face looks like Rebecca's. And
Valentina.
Valentina, thank you. And essentially said that there's a special Black Ops team coming to take us all out, and the only way Violet survives is if she surrenders, gives up her synthetic xenomorphs, and goes with them, essentially. And Violet has only ever, like I said, wanted to keep her Marines safe. That has been her goal from the beginning, and decided to go with them, and potentially has a plan in mind on how to do so. Oh yeah, and Hank also almost shot Dr. Lin, and Violet stopped him from doing that. So
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. So you pulled Chow out of the ship, and
yes,
you dropped her. You
and
left
Vulcan
her.
pitched her. Yeah, I was very gentle. I didn't hurt her. I just made
No.
her unconscious, lifted her, and set her down away where she wouldn't get burned by the ship's rockets.
Gotcha.
Engines.
Okay. So as you did that, Dr. Lin made his way into the ship and began, pre-launch checks.
Yeah.
And his responsibilities are under the assumption that you will pilot the ship. How's that gonna work?
So I wouldn't have let him do any of the pre-flight checks. I would have done everything myself. Because
so he's standing there expectantly.
Yeah, I'm in the system. And I'd do everything by the book. I'd check everything. As soon as I was back in, as soon as he was in, I would have closed the door, the ramp, whatever. And then I would have lifted us off.
Okay. While all of that is happening, from the windows,
Yeah.
R looks on. Because that's where she was, right? We left her up here with all of her goons repairing the command console here in the main control room on the bottom floor, right, Lindy? We've established that this is the
bottom
lower floor.
Mm-hmm.
Because as opposed to the egg, which is the upper floor. Copy that. All right.
The egg on
Patience,
top.
gentle viewer. I will guide this ship gently and slowly towards something resembling a destination. So, speaking of guiding a ship, as its engines begin to hum, Pierce and Hennick and Lowe and Dawson look out the window and help me out here, Lindy. Which one of these guys would be like? They're two duos, right?
Yes, they're in little squad pairs.
Of the four of them, which one of them would be in charge? We're gonna say which one of these guys do we think would get on the radio? Would think himself?
I think Lowe, probably.
Yeah, I think that's.
They've been around
Hennick
and Lowe have been around a little longer than Pierce and Dawson.
So Lowe is up here by the window, and he gets on the radio, and is like, Captain?
Yes, Lowe. Go in.
Chow is laying on the ground on the ramp, and the ship is leaving.
And I'm
dropship is
upstairs with Granger at the elevator, basically. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head down there and make sure she's all right. And thank you for reporting in.
And you can't see it. In fact, none of the players could see it. But
Am I hearing this?
Yeah, that was open. That was open channel.
Okay. Is there another way off this planet?
And I'm just texting Violet. Hey, assuming you've got a plan? Question mark. I just send my text.
When Red says that and no one really responds, Granger just pops over the red. Only through the pearly gates, my friend.
I'll meet you there.
Do I get this text?
Who's it from now?
Me.
Who
I'm
says-
just texting
McKeelson sent it to-
Violet.
Yes, you're in the military ship. You're privy to all of their communications. If it was on what the Marines are sending back and forth to one another, you're seeing it on the consoles of the ship.
Oh, I thought we have like a private channel, right?
Yeah.
That we had up between just you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that with the glasses or without the glasses? Because R has your glasses.
R does have my glasses, but if I remember correctly, I have like a data pad because I need to be able to interface with stuff that's not connected through my.
That's true. You do have a data pad. And this music is loud. And yes, you do have a data pad.
How attentive is Dr. Lin to me? Like
standing right next to you, looking at you.
Yep. Okay. Then I don't even acknowledge that I received this text message.
Ooh.
I just keep doing what I'm doing.
McKeelson's
How?
like,
Okay.
All of that.
Have I lifted off?
I don't know. Have you? This is an
I
important,
would have.
Important point.
Yes. Essentially, as soon as everything's good to go,
Okay.
we're up in the air and we are heading back up to the Remington.
Okay. So let's be really clear. I'll pause the very exciting music that I've decided to start playing here. It wasn't that exciting. Okay. Now, I'm exhausted. We don't even start playing yet. Okay. Now, that's better. The ship begins to lift off. Lowe makes his broadcast on the radio, pings the captain in front of everybody, and Brewer hears it. Yes? Okay. Everybody's nodding. Established that happened. Looking out the window as her goons continue to repair the broken console and lay this cabling that they've dragged out of the ship, R stares out the window, the purple visor on her head, and it is glowing. And were you in the room, and for the folks at home, you would notice that her body language is a little different than it was a minute ago when this headache thing was happening. She stands poised, confident, shoulders rolled back, eyes are glowing as she watches this ship begin to lift off from the pad. And behind her, greasy dudes with cigarettes hanging out of their mouths fix this broken console in their leather jackets and chain wallets and boots from the alley in Chicago, which still exists in 20 wherever this is. Anyway, 2110. Anyway, I don't know. Point is, it's a free plug for the Alley in Chicago, but checks in the mail. Point is, they all look like they dress at a super future hot topic, and that's not the point of this show. I just like the visual. The point is, and we'll get there, patience, gentle viewer, is that she looks pretty deadly. Again, this shock of white hair. She looks like the lead singer of Roxette. May she rest in peace. Killer, right? All this motion behind her. Pierce, Hennick, and Dawson look nervously back and forth to one another, and Lowe is dealing with the captain, who is where?
I believe I was at the top of the elevator with, or heading towards the elevator where Granger was left up on the
Yes.
upper stairs, and so hearing that Chow was
Close
there,
the elevator on me as I was supposed to be going
Yeah.
with them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be heading towards that elevator.
Yeah.
And pushing the button.
Okay, so you're in the elevator heading downstairs.
Yeah, Chow's on laying on the landing pad, and that's not normal for Chow. So, your Chow's okay, good, and make sure you try to keep panic under control, one step at a time.
Okay, you make your way over to Chow. This is Brewer and McKeelson. Yes. Chow is out cold.
Okay, I'm gonna do a medic check to make sure she's not unhealthily out cold. Make sure she's not in a coma or had a seizure or something awful.
Would you like some help, Captain?
Sure. Else is gonna pull out the med kit. Which is duct tape, super glue, whiskey, and morphine, if anyone needed a reminder of the basics of McKeelson's first. There's other drugs and stuff in there too, but the staples are there. Or pinnacles of medicine. Yep.
Brewer will pull out an actual med kit.
And I'll just give a look over of Chow, make sure she's okay.
She's okay. She's been expertly dispatched and
Okay.
does not show any signs of serious trauma.
I'm gonna try to use whiskey like smelling salts. Pick her up. And then if that doesn't work, I'll pull out the actual smelling salts from there's somewhere in the bottom.
When you put the whiskey back in, Granger just grabs it from you, start taking a couple shots while he's standing by and hands it back.
You know what? Brewer takes one too.
It's fair.
Yeah.
And McKeelson might normally complain, but in this specific situation, it's like, yep, nope, whatever keeps everybody chill.
Fun thought. Do you guys think they kept the legacy like rum ration for space, to where the Marines and
Ooh.
the Navy personnel still get their rum ration in space? I'd like to think so. Just saying.
I love that thought. I love everything about that.
We are Space Marines. We are the unruly bunch. That wouldn't shock me if they did. There's not a lot to do in space, especially when traveling, so yeah. Yeah, I'll just see if she comes up with some smelling salts.
All right, she starts to. Why don't you roll? Why don't you give me a roll?
Yeah.
Med roll, or the equivalent. And as you're doing this, Lowe and
I
Henry
got a success,
come
but
around the
no
corner.
negatives. So I'll take that. It's a lot of...
She starts to come around.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah. Come on, Joe.
She's woozy. She's groggy. She's looking around. She's like, "What the hell? What the hell, man?"
I was hoping you could tell me.
I had my feet up on the ship.
Yeah, because you're supposed to keep
Lynn-
it elevated. And I gesture to her ankle, which is like in a brace still. It's not broken anymore, but she still has got like a boot.
I was pretty good about the whole elevated thing. And then Lynn went down to talk to you guys. And the next thing I remember, I'm waking up right here.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Chow. That was
He's
That
like,
was
"Oh, no,
something."
thank you." She lays her head up, and
And I just
when she
like give her a
does-
little pat on the helmet, like they're there, Chow.
It's like we're never getting out of here. This is never.
You
it's
will never say
happening.
never. We've arguably survived equally worse.
And
I'll start
at that-
looking for other sources of food.
I don't think that starvation's what's going to kill us, Brewer.
I don't plan on dying.
All right then, give it a go. Maybe there's fish. I don't know, because I don't think McKeelson knows yet.
I think,
But
I think
McKeelson does know that
water
it's
is
supposed to
gonna be-
murder everything. The egg does, because McKeelson's in the room for that conversation. You know, if there's any fish, let me know, because that might be a positive or something.
I'll be looking.
Great. Oh, fuck. It's just gonna stand there, hands on hips, and, like, watch the shuttle go off, and then a little swig of whiskey.
And as you do, and who's standing around here? This is Granger and Brewer and McKeelson.
Ciao.
Blaze
Horizontally.
Chow is laying flat. Blaze is still upstairs. Yes.
Mhm.
Low comes, approaches the group with Hennick over his shoulder, and just like, "Excuse me, Captain, but what the hell?"
That is a very good question, Lo. Good 2 gold silver star for your inquisitive nature. That's a great question. I'm doing my best to find out. I suspect the Doctors Lin are involved with this.
Okay.
Yeah, Violet and Lynn had a conversation, and he said the only way to save all of us was if she went up with him, and I just wanted to shoot him. Easiest way to dispatch that creepy motherfucker. But
It is very creepy.
Violet said, "Trust me," and against my better judgment, and but thinking about what would the captain do, which is probably my first mistake, I said yes, and well, here we are.
Well, she's probably got a plan then. Is this about the ship that's incoming? Is that?
Oh yeah, the kill squads and all the people coming to kill us and all that.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a kill squad.
Oh yeah, we're all supposed to die.
Fantastic.
What?
Maybe we look for explosives.
Oh yeah, no, we're all supposed to die, and then
I was thinking court-martial, but that's
have we told
worse.
everybody about the whole egg thing too? Okay, all right. Well then, we'll just keep it to the death squads then. Okay, great.
Yep. One
What
problem
about
at a
the
time.
Low and Hennick are looking back and forth at each other. What about the egg thing?
Well,
It's just we just have all these creepy people in here, and they
Yeah.
we just it's not a safe spot for us to all be. They're just
Hunker down
It's not
then?
it's not a secure position for us to hold out against the death squad.
Copy that. Captain, the grease bags over here behind
Yeah.
us,
Mhm.
they're double timing it in here. If I had to guess, we're less than 2 hours away from them
Well, good
probably
news
having this
is-
thing back on its feet.
they have to fix the control room. They have to fix the control room upstairs and downstairs before they can get this thing online, and the upstairs still has a few hours to go.
Copy that.
Maybe don't tell them that. Let them troubleshoot it. Buy some time.
Buy some time.
Politely.
Captain,
Don't want to get them
do we
riled up.
want...
We don't want to deal with those rioters and potential death squads, so...
Captain, the Hennick and Low look at each other, and then Low looks back at you, and Hennick is clearly depending on Low to do the talking here.
Yeah, that
And-
checks out.
Low is like, Captain, is it a good thing or a bad thing for them to turn this thing back on? Can you
It-
confirm?
Depending on the settings that are inputted into the machine, it could be a bad thing. So maybe
Destroy
like
universe.
Brandon
Yeah.
puts his hand out for the whiskey bottle.
it's maybe just double check those parameters and calibrations before like the initiation startup sequence. Triple check them.
Okay. We're gonna go supervise that effort. And we'll
Make
be in
sure
touch.
that, because there should be some DNA sequences in there of, exclusions.
And they look at each other. As soon as you say DNA sequences, they look at each other. Yeah, look, we're gonna go back there, make sure that nothing catches fire. I don't know about
That's
a
a
DNA
great plan.
sequence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing.
Roger
We don't.
that.
We're no fires.
Okay.
McKeelson has there's a twitch of we're all just hanging in here together.
Copy that. Y'all were looking for food. I heard something about foodstuffs back over here, but some of it's poison, some of it's not. I don't know.
Okay.
You're gonna want to go talk. You're gonna want to go down to Mess and talk to October and
They've been
Mazzelli.
If there's any not poisoned food rations, that would be good to have on hand. Yep.
I don't know. That's a question for them. We'll be back. And they're nervously looking back and forth at one another and make their way south.
Yeah, that went great. That went shite.
Brew, did you I remember you said you were putting charges around. Did you do that?
I was gonna say that sounds very familiar.
He did.
Did I do
You
that?
put it under the main,
you put
around
charges in
secretly
the
and
command
sneakily
room.
under the main console upstairs.
Yeah.
And you have it a
Yes.
detonator rigged to go.
All right.
I think
least we
that's
got
a
one
good backup plan.
Okay.
There are
How much whiskey do you
charges.
have right now, Captain?
Not enough.
Shit. All right.
I'm gonna go to the head. I'm gonna hit the head real quick.
Jim, I have a
Um,
question. While all of them
I'm
are
fishing for
on
something
this
in a
platform,
pocket.
everybody's on this platform talking, minor panic happening.
Yeah.
Remind me how story points work. I can spend one to make something happen, right?
You can spend one to get one automatic success on a roll. For sure. I think there's other things too, but I know one of the things is for sure make sure you get an automatic success or an additional success on a roll.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Can I would like to run part of my plan by you, and you tell me what I need to do to make it happen,
Okay.
if that's okay.
That's okay with me, Becky.
So, okay. So, the shuttle has lifted off, and if I remember correctly, it's gloomy, not raining, but clouded overhead. It's not bright and sunny out. I would like, as the shuttle hits that cloud coverage, we disappear. I would like to make the ship have turbulence. And while that happens, I want Dr. Lin to be distracted enough that I can send the Hephaestus down to the planet. Because we've talked about this, and it is rated for Atmo, and I have complete control over it because I infected all those systems. Essentially,
Okay.
I'm giving them a different way out that's not the shuttle. That was my
Did we
first part
figure
of my plan.
Did you just
Options
figure
are
out the
good.
name of the...
I did, yeah. I remembered it. It's
Okay,
the
good.
Hephaestus.
Oh, thank goodness. What a cool name. It's not in my notes. That's great.
What a cool name that I came up with.
But
2
I
years
don't
ago.
know for sure I can take credit for it.
And
I don't
essentially,
have
I'm
proof.
trying to do this where the Doctor's Lin doesn't know that this ship has gone down. I want it to happen while we're in the cloud coverage, so he doesn't see it coming down. So he's not aware that my people at the ground have a way out.
Okay. You have... The Hephaestus is in the hangar of the Remington.
Correct.
You have two other doctors, Lynn, on the Remington
They're specifically in the cafeteria.
in the cafeteria. Question is, can you are you attempting to secret the ship out of the Remington without them noticing?
I would imagine so. So I have control of all of the systems. Is it possible for me to make it so no alarms go off? You normally when the hangar doors open, klaxons happen, and I don't want any of that to happen. I just want to run silent and drop the Hephaestus back down to the planet so they have a way out.
Stealth mode.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Lin is like watching your every move,
Yeah.
right? Because you have agreed to surrender,
Mhm.
right? Okay. So in order for you to fake turbulence while remote piloting a ship without him noticing it,
Yeah.
without your glasses on,
Mhm.
you're first going to have to succeed in what you want to do with this maneuver of the ship.
Okay. So like a piloting check?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. Looking for Dr. Lin's character sheet here.
I have a
Here it
1 in
is.
piloting. Oh Jesus.
Should have a good agility.
I have a 3 agility, so
Okay.
Is it possible to donate story points?
I have 3 full story points.
Okay,
I just don't
okay.
know how many of them I can use.
You can
Okay.
use as many
In
as you
one
want in
instance.
one instance.
Okay.
You can only
okay.
have up to 3 at a time.
Gotcha. Okay.
I got 2 to spend if we need it.
Oh, okay. So for my piloting, I had 1 success and 1 panic.
Okay.
Does that mean you make a panic roll?
It means
So
you
I-
take a stress. What are you
I take
at?
a stress. With that, I'm at 8. Shit.
Okay, so you got to roll.
Okay. So then
Man, you stressed
the-
out.
I'm
Yeah.
very stressed out.
Man,
hit
I got
the
like
panic
no
button.
stress. I'm like,
Oh
Scream. You scream your lungs out for 1 round.
no! We hit turbulence, and I freak out.
But your stress
Okay.
level is decreased by 1, but every friendly character who hears your scream must make an immediate panic roll, so he should have to make a panic roll, because he's friendly towards you right now. So he's got to make a panic roll, and you lose 1 stress, because you blew off some steam.
I imagine
Okay.
it's the most stress relieving scream ever. It's a
Oh, yeah.
Ah! You hit
It
some
makes
turbulence
feel
and you
so
just
better.
scream, and it stresses him out, and he's got a panic roll to now.
The other guy's probably like, "What's wrong? What? Why are you screaming? What?"
oh,
It's just
he's
a little
screaming too
turbulence.
now.
Okay. So
That's
I'm very
actually
intrigued.
extremely fitting. I love that.
Yeah, it's badass. So you how does this you break the cloud layer,
Mhm.
you know?
So
tell
I
me a little
imagine
bit
it
about what
Like
does
ships
this
in the
look like?
night through the clouds.
Well, I imagine it happens while we're in the cloud layer. So like the windows are blocked out, can't really see anything. And I
Did
I don't
you just
even-
hit a meteorite?
I don't know. I just kind of as subtly as I'm able, just kind of just manipulate the controls a little so it gets real bad. It gets super turbulence and panic while I'm doing it because I've never done anything like this before and just start screaming because of the turbulence.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
So hold on just a second.
And if I can't do any of this, please tell me because like I know it's a lot.
Well, we may here's what does happen.
Okay.
Is you scream bloody murder, the ship begins to violently shake as it breaches the atmosphere and begins to head towards low orbit space where the Remington is. And in this turbulence, Dr. Lin's feet come up off the ground.
Okay.
And we're gonna put a pin in it there. We'll be
Okay.
back in just a moment with
Perfect.
that shocking scene and the developments there. As we cut to Blaze and have a music cue change, because that's a good thing to do. Hold on, I like music cue changes. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh, that's Blaze music if I ever heard it. Some John Carpenter shit right there.
Get on,
All
old
right.
John Carpenter.
Meanwhile, we're gonna go to the upper floor of the Black Egg. Let's see.
We're doing a map
All
change
right.
too.
So, Mr. Blaze is up here with Fellows and Kennedy and Heston, and a whole bunch of Marines are standing around. Now, that was said on open channels. Yes, this whole bit about how were you guys on the radio?
Yep.
Up there during all that? Okay. Blaze, all the Marines are looking at each other nervously. And Strong Blossom comes around the corner behind Dr. Vic and kind of pushes Dr. Vic into the room. And Dr. Vic begins to kind of steel himself and make his way across the room to the woman laying on the floor. And he stops, having his panic attack seems to be falling away. He seems to be getting it together a little bit. And Kennedy and Heston walk right up to you and start to close the distance. And you guys are all looking at one another. And where's Fisher? Oh, she's right here. Yeah, she comes around too. She's standing next to you.
Okay.
And all these Marines start to gather up, and they're all kind of looking at you. And Kennedy's like, "What the hell, man?"
Elle was right.
I say we zip tie every one of these fools. We take them downstairs, and we attempt to remote pilot that ship back down. If she's gone rogue, if Violet is one of them.
And just to clarify too, to make sure I had the flow in my head right, is nobody knew what Violet was doing with the remote ship going down already, anyways. With
No.
asbestos,
No,
right? Okay,
no,
yeah, that's what I
all y'all
thought. That's
know
what I
is
say.
that
Nobody
ship
has an
on.
idea that that's going on. Okay.
It's how much do you trust Violet in this scenario?
She's one of them. And we're stuck here. That's no bueno.
Hold tight a second there, Kennedy. I don't know if she's totally lost her mind yet. I just got a gut feeling about her. Things don't sit right here.
And Dr. Vic puts his hand on your shoulder, Blaze, and stands up and
Doc?
is like, "I need to get her to some kind of medical something.
Doc?
Med bay, or I know there's a med bay somewhere around here. We haven't found it yet, but I know it's around here."
I'm pretty sure I found it earlier with Fisher and what was it? I had Heston and Kennedy with me when we were exploring.
Yes, it was Fisher, you, Heston, Kennedy.
I was trying to look at my notes. Yeah,
That's
I
your
had Kennedy,
platoon,
Heston, Fisher.
technically.
Yeah,
That was the setup. Yeah.
Doc, it's all
squad.
good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Doc, I found the med bay down the halls a few ways. Kennedy, Fisher, why don't you guys go with Doc? Help her take it down to this med room that we found
You
down
guys are
there.
Bravo team.
Bravo team. Yep. Okay. Yep. So he would ask Kennedy and Fisher if they could help take the lady, the wounded one, down to the med bay and show Doc the way. Idle hands are the devil's playthings. He wants the Marines busy, especially if they're already acting this way and already worried about stuff. He wants them distracted.
Okay.
What is that?
So they nod,
Oh, thank you
And-
to Platoon Master.
begin to make their way out. And as they leave, Dr. Vic is like, "You do what you got to do to figure out how we get out of here. We appreciate all of your help and hard work. And thank you very much. Don't leave without
Doc.
us, okay? When you figure it out."
Doc, while we're alive, there's always a chance. I ain't giving up yet.
And he like makes really hard eye contact with you, but doesn't say anything. And
Not
turns,
move fast.
and they all go down the hall. And meanwhile, the rest of the Marines close the distance, and Strong Blossom comes into the room, and Mr. Tattoo kind of steps up and is looking like really nervous, and he's holding a bag behind his back, and he looks
spilled
like
all the cakes. We know what it is.
Was he getting into the jelly again?
It's like he's like a terrible drug addict. At least cover it up, man. Hide it better. Gosh.
Yeah.
Some of us are professional.
standing right by the door, eyeballing you guys. Oh my gosh, DM's having fun with the music again. Eyeballing the door, and the room goes very quiet. And Kennedy and Heston escort Dr. Vic out of the room, and that's all the music there is there. And it gets very eerily quiet in this giant chamber, where
the real
people,
life music stopped.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's like snoring, because there's like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there's what, 2, 4, 6, 8 people in here just like sleeping. And a bunch of Marines waving their lamps around, and a smoking corpse off to the side.
Haste, really.
And
yeah,
it gets very quiet, and then Strong Blossom clears his throat. It's like, so what do we do if they don't come back?
Talk with the captain about that. We'll come up with a plan. I plan on living as long as I can. Whatever that entails, I don't.
And everybody kind of looks left and looks right. Some of these Marines have been with you longer than others. Some of these Marines came on the Edmund Fitzgerald group that came to the ship. They're all kind of looking left and right, and Strong Blossom takes 2 steps towards you and goes, "Are you sure your captain has a plan?"
In all honesty, no.
Can
I'm
we
not sure he has a
cut,
plan.
like, just cinematically to McKeelson, who said, "I'm just gonna go hit the head," and it's in the bathroom, like, "What are my drugs? What are my drugs?" Like, which one do I want?
What is McKeelson doing?
Looking- Looking through their secret stash, my hidden stash. I've got drugs. I've got. Well, I'm a medic. I've got drugs, and McKeelson's like going, "All right, what can I take in a small enough dose that will help calm me the fuck out to deal with this responsibility, and if we die, I won't care so much." And it's like just weighing my their pharmaceutical options. Pharmaceutical question mark? It's a question mark. Pharmaceutical question mark options. Because Violet just left and has not responded to the text and is like, "Oh no." And half these Marines haven't known me for that long. This is gonna be, we've got hours till chests go up popping. This is bad. And it's gonna maybe just microdose on a little something to take the edge off. Because they realize they can't take a full dose of anything because they have to be responsible. You know. Just a little.
Where are you in
Yeah.
all of
You're
this?
Because I noticed that there's not a bathroom on your map, but we're gonna assume that there's one off the mess hall somewhere, probably.
Yes. Yes.
I'm in the mess hall bathroom.
Okay.
I said I had to hit the head, so I do, and then I'm gonna take some drugs. A little bit of drugs,
Okay.
though. Yeah.
So the captain has gone off
Yes.
to hit the head.
Hit the head.
Let's
It's been
move-
hours and none of us have peed. I'm just saying that as like a point. You know? I know
I'd
Violet
like
doesn't
to think
have
that
to.
we're on survival mode here.
Yeah.
I think it would. I consider us on survival mode, and that includes bio breaks.
Well, now my bladder's emptied, so when shit hits the fan, my pants don't turn brown.
We'll be right back. Will you put McKeelson on the map where she is using
Sure.
the bathroom? Which
well,
presumably.
It's got to be over here somewhere, right?
Yep.
Let's just say it's like there's like a stall here, because that makes sense. Stuff where all the tables
Yeah?
are. Yeah.
Okay. I like this. This is
Yeah.
kind of a bathroom area here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But maps.
All right,
that's my one gripe with a lot of TTRPG maps. No bathrooms. Where are people supposed to take a leak? You know. I added one in Curse of Strahd because I was like, this is some bullshit. Not a single toilet. So we're gonna say that there's a toilet in this corner. That's where I'm in.
It's kind of biting RPG commentary. You come to the Laugh Love Lindy channel for gentle viewer. So
Yeah.
you know, Granger, the captain, Brewer, and Chow watch as the captain like excuses
I'll take
herself.
like a microdose of nap relief, which reduces stress. But I'm not gonna take a full dose, so I'm not gonna actually mechanically reduce any stress. I'm just gonna say like it's just like a milligram or two to take the edge off.
Just a little nip.
Just a little something.
Just a little bump.
Because it's that or it's the X drugs, so we're not gonna take those. That's when it's like 30 minutes till chests go a poppin', and we haven't heard anything from Violet. I'm saving that one. It's a little bit of nap relief.
Copy that.
Reliever for
Alright,
stress,
so-
strains, irritations.
Captain goes by. Chow's laying on her back, muttering under her breath.
I come back.
Granger, Brewer, you guys watch the captain take a break, excuse herself for a moment.
need to go take up piss.
As she's gone for a second, what do you guys do while that's go ahead,
So-
Blaze.
Well, I was going to say for stuff to do is I was trying to think theater of the mind and stuff that was going on down there is the problem of the idle hands, and he's worried about their attitude and souring. He needs them distracted. So if he could, he'd like to pair off people and just get them doing Marine things, whether that be checking quarters, hallways, looking for equipment, supplies in case we're in the long haul and we
Yeah.
have to stay here for a long time. Some people pulling security, bodies, doors, whatever that may be, something to get them busy. So whatever you want with that is what I was kind of thinking to do and discuss with you.
That's gonna be like a leadership, like isn't that like a thing? Like
Yes, leadership is a
role?
thing. Command. It's command.
Command.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
load up my sheet here. I'm getting weird artifacts on my screen again, so
Yeah,
I'm
let's
having
go do that.
computer
We'll come
problems.
back to Blaze and Granger here in a second, who watched the captain excuse herself to powder her nose. We'll come back to that.
It wasn't that delicate. It's McKeelson.
Yes,
Am I going?
we like-
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, maybe I am. A little powder my nose in an unconventional way.
Because all we were there to do with that cutaway was establish what the captain was doing, by the way. So
Yeah.
no offense to Blaze, Brewer,
Oh,
and Granger, who we'll get back to here in
It
just
was
a
just
second.
because they were
You're
talking
good.
about me, like, what's the captain doing? And I just wanted like that cinematic cut of being
You-
Cam being like,
you-
"Ugh."
And you're good. I was sitting there trying to ponder stuff that they would do, what I would want them to do, and it is just trying to figure things out and kind of reestablish the head picture of what's going on here.
Center yourself.
What? And we established, and something that the other Marines who've been privy to all this crosstalk of all of this would bring up in this room is that the command console in the egg is not functioning and needs to be connected when they fix the wiring downstairs. And is going to take an hour or so to get on its feet. So a couple of them want to go do that and offer to go do that. And so did you make your leadership roll here?
Yep. Command.
Leadership.
Command.
Bye.
We may have to pull up the book here if he gets more than one. Oh my goodness. Oh my
You
gosh.
could spend a story
Panic.
point if you want to have a
Oh, I like
success.
this very
Let's
much.
see what-
Uh-oh.
Where is it?
So you botched your command roll. You're going to
I don't
spend
know.
a story point.
Yep, let's do it. I do have spare story points, so I will spend one. Because it's not with the intent of like forcing people. It's just a basic thing to
Just
keep them on track.
giving people
so,
busy work. Yeah, keeping them calm.
busy
keeping
work.
it-
Yeah. And they can know it's busy work. They can not be happy about it. Just go do it. Doesn't matter. Just go do it.
Well, but to zoom out on it, I mean, narratively, it's great. Here's Blaze, as someone has stood up and made aspersions about the captain. Blaze, as I'm understanding it, begins to, how does that play out? This guy says this stuff. We cut back downstairs. He says, "Are you sure the captain, your captain, this, Strong Blossom says your captain has a plan."
In all honesty, I'm not sure if he has a plan or she has a plan. Sorry. But our captain has always seen us through some of the weirdest shit we've experienced so far. We'll be okay. Just got to have a little faith and see what happens. Nothing else we can do.
And they all look at each other. And you're not 100% sure whether or not they're buying it. And
it's
I
fine.
think that's what gives you the stress, and that's what gives you the shakes.
Well, I feel like he wouldn't be immune to that reality too. I mean, it'd be weighing on his conscience too. Like,
right. And so they're standing by, and King immediately is like, "Well, we're supposed to be down the hall at the command console fixing what sounds like they tore apart. So a couple of us should go down there. Yes?"
Yeah.
And he's looking at you.
Yeah, I'll go down there with you and help you fix the shit.
Maybe another one of us should go keep an eye. Who's gonna stay here and keep an eye on all these sleepers?
Who's saying that right now?
King.
King?
Mhm.
King?
Yeah, so the rest of you stay behind. Well, he's not making orders. You're making orders.
King?
Tell these people what to do.
King, would you mind staying by? Making sure?
All right, fine.
Sounds to me like you're volunteering.
Fine.
Look, keep Heston with you too.
Oh, Heston's with Kennedy, or should be with Kennedy. So you guys are in
Heston.
Marine Squad pairs.
Heston went down here.
Buddy system.
Okay, let me move him. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
He's-
Fisher's with
Break
you.
on role-playing.
Hot
Alright.
blonde chick.
No, I sent
All
Fisher
right.
down there.
Well, then
Oh.
it should be Fisher, because you're not supposed to split the squads.
Not
Oh
supposed to
yeah.
at all.
So
Just because of the
who-
command function.
Well,
Well, no.
it'd be breaking
But if you did it-
protocol. Yeah.
But he would have, because he's not the captain, and he sent Fisher and Kennedy and Heston to MedLab. McKeelson.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm not throwing it in your face. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's
it's
sounds like something.
it was established, but because there's aliens' presence potentially here. Yeah, well, confirmed here that we would always keep a buddy system, so you'd always keep with your color grouped buddy. Which is why.
And Fisher was
Sure.
Blaze's
I
buddy.
mean it in a nice way, but I
I'm
don't
just
remember
reminding
at all being
to
that color
you
group.
because it's been months. So I'm
Yeah.
reminding you as a player. So
Okay.
Well, and we said it out loud, but we never made it official on the board. So, but anyway, King stays here. Strong Blossom and Ashley back up
If they're in
and-
the squad, yeah.
and start walking down the hall. And Fellows looks at King and looks at you, Blaze, and is like, "What about me, sir?"
Gasper and Fellows are both a team, and they're both in
Oh, wait,
here
here's
as well.
Are they
Gasper, they're over
a
here.
team?
Yeah, they're a
Where's
team,
Gasper at?
and they were
Okay, there
assigned
he
to be
is.
up here.
I just moved him.
Because there's a lot of people, so we didn't want one person watching everybody. I'm again
Okay.
just reminding. I'm not telling.
Well, then here we can do some story changes. Everybody's color coded their team, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's send Ashley and Strong Blossom down to go fix. Gasper and Fellows can do the detail duty here in the main room. And then
King technically
Thompson,
isn't assigned to somebody because he's supposed to be second after me.
He was a squad leader. To try to go back, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
he was the squad leader from this
He's
group of Marines that
support.
you guys met
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chow,
through
King, and the
Shillingford.
Doctor's Lin were the three support people, floaters. They were the three support floaters.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He's coming back to me.
Well, then I would do just Fellows and Gasper in the main room.
He's only a PFC.
Thompson and Fisher can stay in the main room too and assist since it's much bigger if they want, and I can rotate out and go down to the med bay with my group with Heston and Kennedy. And
Well, Thompson
then-
should be with Brewer downstairs. That's why I had his token downstairs.
I was gonna say but Brewer's not down here with us. So
Brewer's
Everybody keeping
downstairs.
up with this at home? There
Yeah.
will be a pop quiz later.
There,
by
I'll
the
move
way.
him off because he's supposed to be.
Fellow DM Frank is shaking his head, going, "What on earth?"
This is
has
why
he done?"
there's a lot of NPCs. This happens.
too many.
Yeah, I like how crowded it is. There's too much meat on the field right now.
A
Anyway,
lot of yeah.
a lot of beef on the field right now. As Strong Blossom and Ashley make their way to the command console where Valentina is still tied up,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
she's looking straight ahead with a 1,000-yard stare, and we cut upstairs. Excuse me, downstairs. As Granger, Brewer, the captain excused herself to go powder her nose a moment ago.
Not got to.
And Thompson was with you here too. Yep, Thompson is looking nervously between Granger and Brewer, and is, body language is giving away that he feels like a third wheel.
Okay. Brewer's going to there's a whole bunch of broken concrete over there, so he's gonna go find a nice long piece of rebar and cut it with his plasma torch, and he's gonna make 2 spears for himself and Thompson.
Yeah. And Thompson's watching you do this and looking at you, Granger, making eye contact with Granger. And then-
Granger just shrugs, pulls out a cigarette, lights it, sits down on the ground, and starts field stripping his pistol. Just working on it.
Thompson's splitting his attention now between watching you do that, watching Thompson make spears out of rebar, and he looks at his pulse rifle, kind of turns it over in his hands, make sure it's loaded. He does something to it, And then by then you're go ahead.
I was gonna soldier, you stripped that thing recently?
What? Yes.
I mean, it's something to do, It wouldn't hurt to make sure it's working right? Get your mind off things, focus on what's important.
Copy that. And he looks around, and there's a shitty table over here. There's some work benches.
Nah, fuck it, sit on the ground.
Is it? Oh, okay. And he
Pull up a
takes
cheek.
a knee. And he proceeds to, when in Rome, field strip his pulse rifle.
Brewers out there making freaking spears. We're field stripping weapons, We're just We're fixing things, getting ready. We got nothing better to do.
You gonna fish with that pulse rifle? It's gonna be tough fishing. That's all I'm saying.
No, sir, I wasn't planning on fishing with it.
I don't think we're worried about the fish right now, Brewer.
I don't think there are any fish, sir. Not here, anyway. I don't think there's really anything out there to hunt, except us. But, we'll
Well, I
be
hope
ready.
it doesn't come down between you and me.
And he, like, kind of frowns at you. And he's holding this rebar spear that you've given him. And he's taking his pulse rifle half apart at his feet. And you begin to hear raised voices from the command console. You hear men shouting, and Captain, you emerge from the bathroom around this time.
Yep, great. I'll go check out the race voices on my way back to Granger. I'm more composed. Like, you know, had a good 30-second cry. A little microdose of drugs.
Ranger doesn't look over his shoulder. He just puts his thumb up like, all you, Captain.
Yep. We could just go check it out. What the fuss is about.
Better put that pulse rifle back together.
So, as you do, Becky, you gave R the glasses, and as I recall, also surrendered control of the xenomorph to her. Does one give her the other? Am I correct?
Yeah, so I control the xenomorphs through me. However, I did divert control of one of them into
the
the
glasses.
visor.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I made it restrict. Like, she doesn't have full access to all of my visor's functions. It's just xenomorph control, essentially. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure.
I think it's
I would've
messaging and
restricted
xenomorph
it.
control. I think that's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. Hello.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Captain, as you come out of the bathroom, you hear shouting coming from down the hall. What do you do?
Oh, hey, what's going on there? What seems to be the problem? I say ahead of, like, myself as I go towards that direction.
Lo is kind of standing in the doorway. You can kind of see Hennick's shoulder. And you see that the other two Marines are kind of drawn up closer to the door as all these, leather guys here, her goons, have taken over cleanup and repair operation in the middle of the room and under the main console. And these two guys are Morrison and Cantrell here are in a nasty screaming match with Pearson, Dawson, and they're just calling each other all kinds of names, using the F, using just foul language, blue language, toilet, locker room talk to each other. Rated R, maybe even NC-17 if you see a dude's butt, then it will be NC-17 on HBO. Wait, what were we talking about? My point is,
Whoa! What's going on here then? What seems to be the trouble? Lots of names being hurled around here.
This guy tried to grab my gun. This guy tried to grab my pistol. I didn't fucking not. Fuck you, asshole! I didn't grab shit. You did. And they're having this huge fight over whether or not one of them made a grab for Dawson's pistol.
Everybody, deep breath in, hold it for 2 seconds, deep breath out. It help everybody feel better. You're all working under high stress conditions. This is a tense environment and moment. But we have some time still. So, We don't need to be yelling at each other. Period.
Something shifts above the captain's head in the hallway,
Yeah.
and a large purple form enters the room, clinging to the ceiling. And as Kielsen finishes her statement and this form enters the room, R turns from the window and walks in between the two arguing parties and looks at her guys and looks hard right at them, and the purple visor that was glowing bright enough to throw purple shadows across the room dims back down, and she picks them up and puts them on her forehead. Says, "She's right. Shut up. Fix the thing. Go being an asshole." And then she turns to the Marines and puts her glasses back on and looks at McKeelson and says, "Won't be long now."
Could I have a word with you? Real quick about a couple things, just so we're all on the same page, you know, keeping everything under control, everything smooth.
She crosses dramatically to the window and takes the glasses down as Warren registers her crossing the room and goes to the rest of all these guys, who make their way back to the back of the room and start to do as requested and fix the console.
Right. Pierce, Dawson, why don't you go check in with October and Bazelli? See how things are going down there. And Niccolo, just hang back here. And I will cross over to Ark. She didn't say no. Maybe we're just gonna have an aside here by the window. She's been staring at it dramatically.
Okay.
Did the Violet happen to say anything to you before she took off in the ship? Perchance?
No.
Okay. Second thing, I was informed that, and I don't know how true this statement might be, and I'm saying very quiet because I know she's synthetic. I know she's got really great hearing, so just real quiet. Apparently, the egg wipes out life forms all across the planet, and it's not a communications relay. I don't know if your research while fixing this up has shown that to be the case or not, but maybe double check your parameters on things to make sure that us, you know, humans aren't annihilated, or the clones upstairs maybe. We found clones upstairs. I don't know if that was relayed to you. Clones of you.
She looks, her chin turns immediately and she looks right at you. Here?
Here.
Upstairs?
Yep.
How many?
2?
Like
you.
I'm going to put a pin in this really quick and ask Becky a question here. Becky, the flash drive from Schillingford with all the data and the research and all of that, we established that you recovered that and absorbed that into the goggles, and that you and R had reckoned with that information, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she and I
Okay.
both have access to it.
So that establishes that R understands the egg as much as anyone is able to at this point, as much as Schillingford ever was, right? And R turns to you and puts the goggles up on her forehead, and her voice smooths out to where it's as close to her leveling with anybody probably outside of Violet that you've heard yet, right? She's like, it's both. Yeah,
Alright.
it cleans planets, but it's also like a super microphone, like a super ultra microphone.
So
and
it
it's
does
a transmitter. It's a transmitter and a receiver. So if you had more than one, you could bounce it around technically. And while there are more than one, we're about to have the only functional one right now. And once we turn it on, yeah, if you throw one switch, you murder everything on the planet. You throw another switch, we find out where we're going.
Can you just promise me that you're gonna flip? Because there's apparently a death squad incoming on another ship to murder all of us. I just want you to guarantee that maybe you don't flip the murder switch, because I'd at least like to wait for the death squad.
Look,
Rather than planet wipe. Although I imagine that'd be faster. I don't know.
I don't know that I believe
Oh,
this.
those triplets are shady as hell. I don't know if I believe it either, but it wouldn't surprise me given the company's track record of A, making me captain, and then B, us being on this fucking venture, and apparently C, Coulter going rogue. So, it would not surprise me if they're
Captain-
sending a cleanup crew. Yes!
It wouldn't surprise me either. This is what they do.
It's
But let
pretty
me just
shady.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're here to murder?
Anyone who knows too much, based on money. So, myself, you, Violet, Brewer, Granger, Blaze, Kennedy, Heston. We've also learned a lot here, so maybe some of the other Marines. Definitely all the refugees, unless they're going to freeze them and study them, but I don't think that's going to work. Fire didn't work anymore on one of the fresh bursters upstairs.
Here's something that I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, while we've been had a few minutes together, I thought
Yeah.
what they don't know yet is that I'm Rebecca Steelman.
Right.
So that's what you call me. And I say let them try it. Because
Right.
I'm going to get on the phone, tell them who I am, tell them what we're doing.
It's a risky
And
gamble.
this whole murder squad thing, this is going to go away real quick. But what's important is that my new friends here finish their work, right?
Yeah.
Then we're going to go upstairs.
More fanatics,
gonna-
but you know, it wouldn't.
We're going to turn everything on. We're going to get these assets that you're describing.
Mm-hmm.
My friends over here are going to help us gather that up too. And then I need to turn this thing on. And I need to listen. And I need a few minutes to do that. Now, I'm not going to murder everybody here. Okay? That's
be mighty
another button.
appreciated. Yeah.
I don't need to do that. But Captain, I
Mhm.
do need to turn this back on before that ship gets here.
Well, that's at
After
least
that, we'll
7
figure it
hours
all out.
away. So you're way ahead of. You've got twice the time it takes them to get here.
Well, they're about to meet their boss. Won't they be
I'm-
surprised?
Gonna cross my fingers and hope that works. Clones are upstairs. Keep an eye on these guys. I'm familiar with their type, and I only trust them as far as I can throw them, which is not very far. I'm not particularly strong. So, I was thinking about getting everybody else who's about to pop and consolidating them in one smaller room so that it's easier to deal with if shit gets bad faster with that jelly situation up there.
Captain, you're about to find out how far loyalty goes.
Yeah, I know it's not particularly far, but those refugees are not in a great spot, and we're gonna be in the worst spot if they all start.
You're dead right about that. And if you would just kind of gather them up, assess what's
yeah.
going on, they're important. We need to make sure that they're stable,
To
and we need to.
What could you explain to me, other than that the refugees, which is obviously tragic and terrible, why they're so important?
Well, they're marvelous bargaining power. I mean, to have a room full of infected nobodies, who in the company's eyes, who are off the books bioorganic assets. If you're telling me that a murder squad is headed this direction, we have a lot more. When we talk about what's on the table and what isn't, we have a lot more chips maybe than everybody in this scenario, in this situation, realizes. And so it's just we're gonna
So
go
a
upstairs.
room on the first floor. Got it. Right. Let's do that.
She puts the glasses back on her face and she said, like I said, I'd like to see them try it.
Just, if anything pops up, just text me, check in. Just good to keep everybody on the same page. And then I take a deep breath out and I walk out, and I'm gonna go much more composed to where Granger, Brewer, and Thompson were. And now Brewer's our heavy machinery person.
Good to see you, Captain.
I feel a lot better after that leak. Tensions have calmed down in there. Have we found a room with no air vents yet?
A room with no air vents.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
What about this room? I'm just gonna go look at this room right here. Because we determined that room was empty. It was all broken up machinery and stuff.
Yeah.
But this room.
Yes, I think this room has. Well, check it for air vents.
Yeah, and if it does, do you think you could, really reinforce it and seal it off?
You got it, Captain.
Great.
I'll start taking
Make
my
sure
rebar
that it's
spear.
the air vent would be inaccessible. Any air vents maintenance sucks. If, for example, an alien were to burst out of somebody, it couldn't get in.
I'm on it.
Great. You're the best, Brewer. Once that's done, I think we're gonna consolidate all of our upstairs refugees in this lovely room.
It's gonna be a tight squeeze.
Yeah. I think you can make it fit, but I don't think we found a better room. A bigger, more secure room. So.
All right.
It kind of is what it is.
I ain't arguing. Thompson, bring me more rebar.
Yes, sir. And he's got a low center of gravity, that Thompson. So it's funny watching him go for the rebar.
11. I'm gonna make sure that will fit everybody. And
I start.
yeah, everybody will fit in there. It'll be a squeeze, but because that's
Just start putting bars over any potential exits.
maybe. Yeah. If they start bursting, we don't want them to get in the vents. I just know that much. I just know that sucks from personal experience in this game already. We're just like, nah, let's get some sheet metal up here. Just can't find the vent. Can't get in the vent.
I don't know. Aliens are real smart.
They are real smart. We can slow them down. Technically, they have the longest clock, but just in case.
So wasn't there something where the aliens used their own acid to cut their way through? Didn't they devour, cut, or eat one of the
Probably.
aliens? It's
But it's harder to drool up, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's harder to drool up, but I'm just
It's harder to drool up, is why I'm like, they need to be on the downstairs. Because you already seen them drool down into places. We should learn from our past experiences.
So, while this is all happening, Ranger, what are you doing while all these events are taking place here on the landing dock?
He's savoring his cigarette He only has a few more left. He's finishing up field dressing his, getting his gun ready to go. Yeah, no, he's just sitting there enjoying the little bit of a buzz he got from the whiskey, cigarette, a little bit of a nicotine high, and just making sure he's ready to start shooting people when it's time. He's specifically focusing on one, like the Lynn brothers, just that their faces are what he's focusing on. Like, I'm going to enjoy killing all three of them. That's just, he's just looking for synthetic or not. At this point, they're not going to survive. They'll
Yeah.
just say they were synthetics. They're organic synthetics. It's
They're just- Or
yeah.
synthetically creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's just
Like that's not a natural level of creepy. Like that is
it's all about visualization. You got to see yourself succeeding in what you want to do, and so that's
the secret.
Yeah,
That's the secret.
Granger is just sitting there visualizing as he's putting his gun back together and just getting ready to do what he had to do.
Okay. So as we cut from there of Granger enjoying his tobacco, we go up to the ship as it begins to leave the atmosphere, and Dr. Lynn's feet begin to leave the ground, and it's going to make an observation roll at -2.
Oh.
Okay. So do you move the ship? The
Hephaestus?
The Hephaestus.
Yes, that is my goal.
Okay. So the question is whether or not he sees you do this. You've created this turbulence. You're screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
And I need you to roll a ship. I think you have to pilot the ship out. I'm not going to make you roll Comtech because you're in control of the Remington at this time. But to move the ship out is going to require a roll.
Piloting? Okay.
A pilot.
Here we go. 1 success and 2 stress. So does that mean I take 2 stress or just 1 stress? How does that work?
I think it means you take 2 stress.
Okay.
And
then I
unless I'm mistaken, and we're gonna go for it anyway. What does that put you
at? 9.
Okay.
Haven't hit 10 yet, but I'm getting there.
Oh,
9 sounds like a lot.
I don't have my de-stress item anymore, so now can I ask before we do the outcome of this, if I used a story point, would that help me succeed better?
We can double check on story points. I think that
it just adds a success. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get that extra.
Because like
we gotta look at
I'm
the list.
okay, like if the 2 panics, the 2 failures make it so he sees me do this, but I still want the Hephaestus to make it out of the Remington.
If you beat him
go down.
with a 2 versus a 1, he shouldn't see it because his observation will be beat by your piloting.
Even with the failures?
Because those aren't failures, those are just stress.
Panics. Gotcha.
In fact, they just don't register as extra
I don't think they're negative
successes.
dice. I'll double
They're
check, but
Right.
I think
it
they
doesn't
just
blow the
yeah.
roll. You just takes 2 stress
I'm gonna double check
succeeding in
that.
the roll.
Gotcha. Okay. Then yeah, can I use that story point to beat him then?
Yeah, it just triggers panic. It's that's what it does.
Yes.
It's a panic mechanic. It doesn't detract
I
successes.
understand.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So then I will use a story point to beat his 1 observation. If that's okay, if that's how that works.
It is. It's a resisted roll, so you can successfully pilot it out and beat his observation and spend a story point to do so.
Yeah.
Go into detail about what this looks like. Where the dropship is in relation to this thing that you're doing.
So I had previously repositioned the Remington So it was essentially like in like a tunnel directly above us, right? Above the landing pad. So we had a shorter time of getting from the planet surface to the Remington.
Orbiting
While
above the
we're
egg.
yeah, exactly. While we're in this cloud layer, I create this diversion. I start screaming bloody murder. He's in the air. I like fall, quote unquote, and as I do it, my fingers are just kind of like across, because I imagine I need some type of external command or something like, or no, I don't, because I'm the Remington. I don't even need that. So I imagine I just kind of, I just fall, and I want to like slam into him, and like we end up in a mess, a pile, just kind of away from the view field. And there's like this split second of when we bust out of the clouds, and you see the Hephaestus literally passing us into the cloud. Yeah, and because I ran into him, he doesn't see that kind of thing.
And he, receives this, struggles, but he doesn't shout, he doesn't yell, he doesn't curse, and he also doesn't
have to roll panic. I'm sorry, because I have to roll my panic.
You certainly do. You certainly do.
This is gonna be bad.
Oh, you just scream again.
I start screaming again.
You're just like, ah! You haven't stopped screaming. Is that how I'm interpreting this? You're just like, ah!
Yep.
But again, you reduce your stress by 1 and he has to roll panic.
Yeah.
Again. So you're making him more stressed and you're decreasing your own.
Me less stressed.
It's the only one that decreases stress pretty much. It's so funny.
That's also if he's human, because if he's a normal synthetic,
that's true.
Stress isn't a thing.
If he's a normal
him,
synthetic, it does nothing. Ooh.
So,
does he look more stressed?
But, yeah. But okay, so I reduce my stress by 1. I'm still screaming. I continue screaming through all of this.
Did you reduce your stress by 1 last time too?
I did.
Because making sure. I was still a lot of stress. So
because I was at 7, or no, I was at 8. So and I bumped up to 9.
Oh.
So I reduced back down to 8.
Yeah.
And then no, that's not right, because I would have been at 7. What was I at? I don't remember if I was at. I'm at a 9 essentially.
Okay.
I'm not. I know I'm not at a 10. That's for sure.
Okay. Can you give me another observation roll at -2?
Yeah. And it's just in modifiers. I just do -2. Yeah.
Yes. I will play.
Ooh.
3 successes and 3 more panic. Jesus Christ. Okay. So so question here.
Yes.
If I take 3 panic, I am at 10 plus. Like that puts me at 11 panic. I don't know what happens then.
Okay. I'm sorry. You're at what now?
I'm at 11 panic dice. With these 3,
yes.
I'm now at 11.
Okay. So let's enjoy this for a moment, shall we? You're freaking out. Your Nexus 7 freaking out, right?
Yeah.
Which we would have to assume is another level of freaking out. Now, I do have the Blade Runner rule book here, and I am tempted to pull this game over to the side of the road and look
at synthetic stresses,
or have just really quick have Lindy look really quick at
the Blade Runner one.
I do, and I can shoot it over to you like right now. Hold on a second. How can I like shoot you a file really fast?
If it's too big.
I have the Alien game up right now, the rule book up right now. I'm looking for it.
Drive.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think our viewers at home at this point will be patient with us as I just shoot this really quick. Oh no, I want to. It's already here. Hold on a second. I already have it on Drive. Okay, so let me just really quick, because what I like here is that with one moment, Lindy can maybe look up what a really good Nexus 6, Nexus 7 freakout looks like, because I'll bet that's in here. And that's fun. And meanwhile, we can do a couple other things. Hold tight for just a second while I shoot this over into the Discord chat for my friend Lindy. There you go. See how hard they freak out really quick, Lindy, while I talk to Becky. So now you're like freaking out. You're screaming bloody murder. You've collided with Dr. Lin, and you're like, what is are you just grabbing him and screaming at him right now like before, Lindy? Well, we're gonna find out, but in this moment you're like screaming bloody murder at this guy.
Yeah, because I did get 3 successes on that observation with those 3 panics. So I fall into him, and I imagine because I am genuinely freaking out. My Violet's hold on, that's her thing, because like she doesn't want to lose her crew, and this guy is somebody who can make that happen, who will make her lose her crew. I think she gets she grabs onto him, and her full strength does not let him go, and just I don't think she lets go, and I think it's full synthetic strength, like painful if he's human.
So the good news is, as far as it goes, you don't have a mental break because you don't add the number of stress panic dice you get does not add to your stress level. You have to make your panic roll, and that will tell you how much gets added to your stress level or decreases your stress level. That's why so many of the panic results are increase your stress, increase your stress, increase the stress of those around you.
Okay, so
technically, you should have less stress.
Okay, so I was at 7.
Yes, and then you screamed.
Which dropped it, so it would drop it to 6?
6, and then...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I screamed again, so it dropped it to 5.
Yes. Technically, you have gotten extraordinarily lucky with your 2 panic rolls. I was like, I didn't think panic accumulated that fast. I knew it's fast.
I kind of wanted to freak out.
I was like, I need to review this, and so I was looking at it. Yeah, no, you just happened to reduce your stress twice by screaming. One of the very few panic results that actually reduces your stress instead of increasing, but it does increase those around you. Panic rolls.
I thought you took a stress when you. Because that's how we increase it, right? Because you take a stress when you
roll panic.
Okay.
When making skill rolls, including like the immediate roll, blah, 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 add a number of stress die to your dice pool equal to your current stress level. Okay. Stress actually increases your chance to exceed. Blah 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 blah. If you roll a alien symbol on 1 or more stress dice during your skill roll, you risk panic, and when you panic, you have to roll them. No matter how many successes you get, it's besides pushing skill rolls, which will increase your stress. If you push a roll to re-roll it, you will that will increase your stress by 1 automatically. Other stressful or dangerous events will trigger your panic rolls, which will increase your basically whenever you either push yourself and give yourself stress, or you roll on the panic table, and that will increase or decrease your stress or the stress of those around you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've had to deal with that. So I was like, let me look at this, because I'm like, when you have like 8 stress dice, I'm like, there's no way you could get like 8 more stress in one go. Like that's, I don't remember how that game worked. So, but I am looking at Nexus 6 freakouts for future reference, because I don't know, you might push a bunch of these rolls here now that you remember pushing as a mechanic.
Dang, that kind of I kind of wanted to freak out, but that's fine. Okay, so now I'm down to 5 panic. I am not as panicked as I was.
Okay.
Yes.
But I still grab onto him. I still do that.
Yeah, you can push a roll once, and any dice that weren't successes, you can try to get more successes, but you could also risk more panic. So that's
gotcha.
And it increases your stress.
Right.
There you go. That's all. I just wanted to throw that out there. I was like, wait a second.
Thank you.
This seems fast. Faster than normal.
Okay.
It has been accumulating, so.
Yes.
So it takes about 10 minutes from the drop ship on the surface to get to the Remington and vice versa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have just described is about the halfway point. Now, we also described back on the surface about 10 minutes of talking, right? Gilson came back from the powder room. talked to R. The Marines made a plan. They made a bunch of spears out of rebar for some reason. And a lot of things were happening down there. It takes about 10 minutes, okay? Just want to point that out. Now we're going to get back to that, okay? Now, but until then, you start to close, you hit that halfway point, and Violet, without your goggles on, you're looking at all these monitors all around the room, and you absolutely see the security camera of the mess hall where the two doctors, Lynn, were sitting at a table, and one of the xenomorphs that you have access to control of was like staring at them, as I recall.
Yeah, I thought both of them. No, because I think you're right. I
One's-
think it's just one of them.
One's
And then the
staring
other is...
on Burkhalter, which you probably would have pulled off
Yeah.
because he was on the asbestos.
Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay, so let's establish
He's in a coma,
where they
though.
Let's
So-
establish where they were. You had one in the cafeteria, and what? One still in the hangar?
Yeah, one was watching, what's his face? Burkhalter. So I would have brought that xenomorph off of the Hephaestus before it dropped.
Sure, that makes sense. But would we say that it is in the hangar or somewhere other than the hangar?
I would probably have it patrolling the ship because I'm paranoid at this point that there's someone
Okay.
else on my boat. So
But that was a
It's-
little while back before you
Yeah.
dropped off the shades, because you don't have like psychic control over these things.
Right,
You do actually
right.
have to tell them what to do, either through the glasses you were wearing, or the data pad that you were holding, or
Correct.
the computer terminals around the dropship that you could stand up and access. Yes?
correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. All agreed on the
Yeah.
scenario.
I have to
here. Okay.
have either my visor or some type of data pad, but the connection is through me, not through the items.
Okay.
But yes.
You see that one of the doctors, Lynn, has stood up from the cafeteria table and has made his way across the room.
Is he trying to leave?
He has tried the door, and being unsuccessful, is making his way to terminal on the wall.
Okay. Because I'm in this moment, I don't have control over them. The xenomorph's standing order is to keep them in this room, to watch and keep them here.
Yes?
Yes.
We can get that door open, but if they walk out, it's not gonna be pretty. That's the standing order right now.
So at this point, halfway through your 10-minute adventure to this place, you see that one of the doctors, Lynn, has made his way to a terminal on the wall in the cafeteria. And as you register this, and Dr. Lynn, who is beneath you,
With me.
with you, and also, you were on top of him a minute
Yeah.
ago, is my understanding. He's looking at you, and sort of an uneasy, sort of a weird Mona Lisa smile is on his face, sort of an awkward half grin as he makes eye contact with you, and doesn't immediately get up. He's not in a rush to stand up.
Can I tell? I know what a human, like their bone structure, what they feel like. As I was holding him,
Ooh.
can I tell if
question.
he's human?
You can make an assumption whether or not he is human.
Is there any type of check I can make?
Sure. Let's look at a character sheet here.
Just roll detect human.
Yeah, well, obviously, roll detect human. Observation.
Yeah, observation.
It's
Okay,
better medical
um,
aid, but you were not really medicaling it that much, so.
No, yeah. Observation. 3 successes and a panic. So I roll in the
Gotta roll
panic.
panic. Yeah,
again.
yeah. It's probably gonna be negative.
Yeah, hold on. 7.
Nervous twitch. Your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you increases by 1.
By 1. Okay, so
They
now
used-
I'm at 6.
Just a bit of a
Panic.
nervous
Or
twitch.
Stress. Okay. I think like my hands start to like shake a little, twitch a little.
They are custom, expensive, synthetic organisms. He took
Okay.
a hit. He took a hit as you hit him that would have broken his collarbone. And he does not have a broken collarbone.
I knew it.
But he's synthetic.
So, you know, your mind immediately starts thinking of, you know,
That changes things a little bit.
and he's looking at you and he goes, "It's time to surrender."
You're right. It is. And I would like to just going against everything Violet. I would like to attempt to take him over the way I did with the xenomorphs.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
hack him.
Yeah, I wanna hack him essentially.
Sweet. Let's get into that here in a moment.
Yep.
Oh,
Because this is the drop ship goes into the hangar, and something's gonna happen there.
Doors close.
As
Gotcha.
the doors slowly close. Meanwhile, on the planet, Hank, the Shooter Granger, at least that's what it says there in his. That's
Shooter.
not canon.
No, it's
No.
not.
Don't put that in your notes, gentle viewer. So, not canon. So, you're watching and you're smoking your cigarette, and you know, you'll be damned if another ship isn't coming in low under the cloud, breaking down under the cloud layer
Okay.
and coming in.
Do I recognize this ship? Would I recognize this ship?
Well, not right away. It's
Okay.
just a little dot. Do you want to like maybe make a roll to recognize it right away, or do you want to wait until it gets a little closer?
Binoculars, don't you?
No, I have a
That's right.
stealth drone.
I have binoculars. I was wondering
You
if
have
someone did.
binoculars. I'm gonna
It's
pop
me.
on the radio, like, hey, Captain,
Yeah.
we got a ship coming in. It wasn't the one that just left.
Whoop. I'm not far away because I was probably just looking at telling Brewer what to do, and I'll pop out my binoculars that I have, and I'm gonna go look into the sky, see what I can see
All right.
with my binoculars.
Thompson kind of comes up and leans, you know, kind of in, see what you're doing, and you can tell that it's the Hephaestus coming in.
So they have Festus.
You gonna have death squads on it?
No, it's too early for that.
Okay.
Either Violet sent it down, or 1 to 2 Doctors Lynn are gonna walk out of it.
No.
Ready's his spear.
Are we entertaining their existence?
Oh no, I don't. I've never liked those creepy. I turn off my
Alright.
radio. Like, granted, my recording camera is almost always off, because of reasons. It's still off in the bathroom, probably.
For thematic reasons, as soon as she says that, he puts the clip back in the gun and it charges up,
Yeah.
makes that little sound, and
I've
he's
always
like,
hated those creepy fuckers. So Rin Deep was shitting for it, and he was a brat bastard.
that's all you need to say, Captain.
Fair game.
Brewer, put down the fishing poles. We got people to kill.
Well, make sure he's not fishing. He's closing up something for the refugees.
Oh.
We should
last
contain them
I saw,
before
he was
going
making
up.
fishing poles with that rebar shit.
No, he's welding shut the air vents in that room so that if they'll
Sorry,
go
I wasn't paying
chests go-
attention, Captain. I don't
no,
really
it's
pay attention.
fine. It's fine. Captain's a little more mellow. You probably know why.
he's just watching your pupils not dilate. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
I know what's going.
I only need a few more moments in here, and I'll be done.
Great. You're doing a great job, Brewer.
Of course.
Have you talked with Blaze yet, Captain?
I was just about to check in when then the ship came in. Blaze, this is your captain speaking. The Hephaestus is coming in for
We're
landing.
passing 35,000 feet right now. If you look on your right
say
side.
the airlines. Oh, okay, sorry.
This is
Sorry,
the captain
the
feeding.
what?
Descending from the airspace, the Hephaestus appears to be coming in for a landing.
The Hephaestus is doing what? How?
Well, it's flying. It's not crashing.
Okay.
It's got its thrusters active. I need to explain aeromechanics to you?
We don't actually know if it's not crashing right now.
No,
It's
and I pull up my binoculars. That's a pretty steady, controlled descent. That's not.
Until it's on the pad, it still could be
You know,
crashing.
that's fair. Maybe we should back up a little.
Do we need a brace for impact, Captain?
No. It looks like a steady, controlled descent. Just
Who's
keeping you
flying
abridged. We're going to assume Violet or the Doctor's Lid. Probably
Okay.
Violet.
Okay, I'll notify everybody down here.
Yeah, keep everybody up there, keep an eye. We're also securing a new room for the refugees to bide their time in during their little nap.
All right, good copy.
And Mikkelsen's in a much better mood knowing that, a not Death Squad ship is flying in to the planet right now. And drugs. So, wombo combo there.
Okay. So let's go upstairs and Blaze.
Yep.
What are you up to down here as I get roll 20 in shape?
Spreading the good word initially over the local comms, then, or even if he has to go in person, just say, guys,
Friendly shit.
dropships coming inbound. I mean, if they weren't already on comms with that, just saying, because it just make sure, And then if that is all good to go, if everybody heard that, we were I wanted to go check in on the med bay on our potential hurt person. Yeah, the person on the operating table with the doc.
Yep. So you make your way that way, or how do you engage with that? Are you going to physically go there, or
he'd want to physically go down there and check.
Okay, so you make your way to the door, and I think does anybody come with you, or you just go by yourself?
I guess you would just go by yourself. I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't have the map up. I don't know if anybody's near me there.
I'm moving to sorry. I forgot to swap back to the...
Put that up there for the viewers at home.
There you
Okay, well, when you get there, you notice
There you go.
Kennedy is standing outside shaking her head. Like, no. And
No?
then you, if you stick your head around the corner,
Oh, yeah.
Fisher and Heston are watching a very nervous Dr. Vic remove something from this woman's chest. And he's plugged in like a one of these batteries that that you brought in, and he's rigged one of them up just to run this surgery console and this auto surgery booth a la Prometheus, which is very expensive and super custom and is in the rule book as one of these really super cool things where you sit in it and it takes your appendix out.
Okay.
And Dr. Vic is, nervously trying not to mess with the controls because he's clearly got it set up, and this arm is reaching into this woman's chest. and
Blaze would be very
something
quiet.
and something begins to scream as the arm retracts out from her chest cavity, and it's pulling it out under her breastbone. It's like made a cut like right here instead of where it's hiding here. Imagine if you actually had a surgical device that could remove a face hugger or
Yeah.
a chest
Oh, yeah.
burster.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to grab it low here, I think, and
Yeah.
pull it out. And he's attempting to do this.
Your
And you're
mother,
seeing
you
this all
know.
happen kind of halfway through it.
Oh God. He just muttered that under his breath, staring at it. But he'd try and be quiet, and he's watching intently to make sure that that robotic arm does not let go of that little bastard thing, and probably nervously holding onto his weapon, like, just gonna, don't let it go, don't let it go.
Okay.
So he watches.
I imagine Fisher, Heston, and Kennedy are like ready.
Yeah, ready to murderize that thing if it gets free.
Because Kennedy and Heston have seen these things.
Does the patient look alive?
He looks unconscious, and the machine on the wall shows that her vital signs are low but stable.
Damn, good job, Doc.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's a
so
real doctor.
once the doc gets the creature free and clear of her body, what does he do with it then next? Is it going in a jar? Is he gonna kill it?
You're watching him carefully, and the machine grabs this thing and brings it off to the side and puts it in a containment vessel that is placed, that is situated nearby, as if the table knows what to do in situations like this and has the accessories it needs to keep whatever it pulls out of somebody alive and nearby. And this canister begins to shake, and you hear a loud hiss, and it fogs.
And then
And
the blender turns on, and
I wish.
it clicks, and it like ices like right away. And you're watching this thing play out as another arm comes over and stitches her up and seals up her sternum and shoots a gel along her, and you see her vitals begin to slightly improve and level off. You see Dr. Vic begin to pull the things off of her arm, and he is pulling a wheelchair off of the wall nearby and is making ready to load her into it.
Well, if he's doing that, the moment Blaze would see him getting a wheelchair off the wall, he'd step up and come and try and help with the wheelchair and be like, Doc, have you ever done that before?
Yeah. Many times.
Damn.
Do you want to be a very rich man?
I mean, I like money, but what are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting you grab that canister right here and put it in this bag. And he brings a black duffel off the wall. He's like, and you just put that bad boy right in here.
Blaze would pause, look at the duffel, look at him, and back to the duffel, back to him, and go, Doc, we cannot and will not take that thing off this planet.
Sure. It's worth a shot. And he like drops the bag and grabs the wheelchair and puts his lady into it. And he just shrugs and goes, "Your loss," and starts to wheel her out of the room. And unless you stop him, he does this. as Fisher and Heston and Kennedy all look at you.
Well, I mean, if he's gonna do that and go, I mean, if he's gonna put her in a wheelchair, say that you're lost, canisters on the, or the bags on the floor, he'll be like, okay, fine. Heston, grab that canister, the specimen, grab the creature. We're gonna destroy it.
Copy. He
Heston
shuffles
lives
over
for this.
and
Do what?
picks this thing up and looks at it, and you can't see into it, and it's like frozen, like a, it's got like dry ice frost coming off the side of it.
Hell
And
yeah.
he slides into this duffel bag and zips it, throws it over his shoulder with his flamethrower, and powers down the surgery table and disconnects the battery
Nice.
and clips it onto all of his stuff. And
Perfect.
then he's like, nods at you.
Good job, Heston. I like this guy. All right. Doc, after you.
So the doctor begins to wheel his lady out, and you proceed to go down this hallway.
Yep, all of us together.
When you make it out into the main room, some of the people, so I'm going to say, we have the ship coming and landing. This was the 10 to 15 minutes. That thing in Prometheus scooped her right out. She wasn't there for an hour. This all happened pretty fast. And so this was Blaze's 10 or 15 minutes here as the ship was leaving and coming back and landing.
Well,
and
I'm
what
sure
happened.
it felt like an eternity watching that.
And when you make it back into the main room, you notice that some of these folks are stirring and slowly making their way down the
Oh, the royal
concourse
jelly
on
back
either
time.
side. Okay. So as the doctor wheels his lady across the dark room, and Mr. Tattoo, looking very shady, prepares to follow them out. Unless Blaze has anything else, we're going to cut upstairs.
Downstairs.
Excuse me, downstairs.
I don't think there's anything else, but the
Got
plan
real quiet.
is that. Sorry, I have a cat in front of me.
Oh.
I don't have anything else, but the plan is just for when we get outside to have Heston destroy the specimen in a clear area. That's it.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a good plan. We'll see how far that gets. All right, so then I like plans. Everybody likes plans. So then we're going to cut as Granger watches the Hephaestus get closer and closer to the landing pad. We're going to cut up to the hangar of the Remington, where Violet is doing something to Dr. Lynn. What is happening? What does this look like?
Yeah, I've got him in my arms, in my hands, right? And just with lightning quick synthetic reflexes, I just want to just take my jack and just pop into him and attempt to take him.
Okay, so let's do a little roll here for so once you do this, you engage with right away an intelligence that you have never encountered before. Where you are purple, it is green. It is you see the letters HODAG over and over again. in all capital letters. It is a intrusive black entry AI meant that you may even recognize as one of a fleet of hostile AIs created by Weyland-Yutani.
Okay.
You repeatedly see a weird, horrifying face that looks like that over and over again, with teeth and horns and yellow eyes and spines on its back, except it looks like a Nintendo game. It's all 8-bit.
Yeah. Love it.
And he's making faces at you and his eyes are flashing, and we're both going to roll. We're going to do best 2 out of 3.
Okay.
First, you've got to breach, which is an opposed comtech roll between you and Dr. Lin.
Bet.
So let me pull this up.
Tell me when to roll, and I will roll.
Let me triple check this gentleman's stat block here. Make sure I'm doing this right. Here it is. Yep.
Three. Okay.
3.
And I have to meet or beat it, or do I have to just straight up beat it?
Beat it.
Beat it.
Beat it.
Okay.
What would you
I beat
do?
it with 4.
Cool. All right. So that's breach. You defeat the first round of this thing attempting to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to override.
Okay.
Before you, and if you succeed, it's a lockout. So we do another comtech roll.
Okay. 3
Well,
again.
it's
Okay.
very fitting that Lynn would roll 3 because they're the
Yeah.
triplets. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. And you
Another
got 4
4.
again.
Yes.
Let's go!
Yes.
Oh man.
I will say I did get a panic on my first comtech roll. So I do need to roll that as well.
Yes, I should
Yep.
say so.
Oh man.
9. I don't know what that is.
Drop an item. Whether by stress,
Oh.
confusion, or realization, you're all gonna die anyway. You drop a weapon or other important item, but you don't have your visor on you. So
Mm-mm. I
yeah.
do have my data pad, but I mean,
Yeah.
I could just drop him
That's true.
because I'm physically holding him, so I could just physically let him go.
Hey, you
That would
dropped.
be yeah.
Yeah.
You've hacked him anyways. You don't need to hold on.
Yeah, I have him. I
physically.
got him. Like.
Oh, that's so thematic.
He collapses at your feet, and for a moment is completely still,
Mm-hmm.
and then his eyes flash purple for a moment
Yes.
before he steadies and stands and looks at you and says, "You don't have much time."
Tell me everything.
The other Doctors Lin will attempt to load the Hodag onto the Remington manually from the cafeteria. They're doing it now. You'll have to log back in either through here or manually once we get out and lock them out.
Got it. Let's move. And we go.
Do you have your alien just like
I do, yeah.
decapitate him while he's
I
trying
would
to?
like my
do
alien
it?
to since I pick up my data pad.
Yeah.
And my alien will dead drop from the ceiling onto that one that's by the terminal
Uh-huh.
and take him the fuck out and then turn to the
Okay.
other one. Whatever I need to roll.
Okay. Well, I mean, you got to attack him.
Yeah. I
Just
don't
to see-
have
No, that's
like
not
a
how aliens work,
xenomorph.
though. Yeah, that's not how they work.
Right.
They hit and then you roll on like what they do.
what
And
they
so-
do, yeah.
I think you get to basically choose what it does on
Okay.
the chart
Bet.
since
Hold on.
you control it and just
I
sort
have.
of
Yeah, you've
tell
got the
me what
book.
this-
You got the
I've
stat
got the double
blocks.
X.
It's like a
1, 2,
D6.
1.
and the 0's like, oh, it scares you, and the 6 is like it murders you in one round.
Where is the double X? 1, 2, 1. Hold on.
And so this
First
Dr.
word.
Lin, while the other Dr. Lin sits at the cafeteria table watching all of this.
Is it a stalker, a scout, or a drone?
It's a scout.
A scout. Bet. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
The razor claws are based on scout rules. So come on, Becky. Yeah, the audience knows this. Me and the audience
I
talk about
have
this all the
to
time.
ask. I have to
I'm
ask.
making this shit up as I go along, Becky. There's no pretense for that.
Okay.
So what do you do to him?
You said I can choose off of this chart?
Yeah, you got to pick something off the chart.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna headbite him.
Headbite!
Okay.
So the xenomorph opens its outer jaws wide, and a deadly inner jaw leans out, gnashing in anticipation before snapping forwards. The attack has a strength of 9 base dice damage. Base dice damage 2. If it causes any damage, it automatically inflicts critical injury number 64, killing the victim in one dreadful blow.
What do they roll against to that?
I don't know.
Because he's not wearing any armor. It just happens, as I recall.
Yeah, it says if
You
it
can
causes
roll.
any damage.
Causes 9 base damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, the monitors, we got to pull up the Remington here really quick because we got to see how
I also
far
have that.
away. We got to see how far away
The map.
the map is insane, and we got to
It's
see
big.
how really quick, just out of curiosity, because the narrative momentum for this episode just won't be stopped. So it's just r/s. How far away is the? Yeah, see, you got to go upstairs to the cafeteria. The cafe. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So you and the good Dr. Lin are making your way upstairs, and you can see on the monitors, the security cameras as you cross. And this thing comes, and as Dr. Lin finishes a keystroke, the beast crouches, and Dr. Lin's head pops like a grape, and white goo goes in all directions as his skull is destroyed.
Try to defend, but it probably wouldn't work. Block.
I'm here to tell you that if he noticed, he willfully completed what he was doing before
Yeah.
he was destroyed.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so on the screens in the Remington, you're seeing these green flashes.
I immediately turn to the closest terminal and attempt to root this shit out.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna do it again.
Yep. Same thing, best of 3.
Yeah, except I get a -1 and you get a +1 because you've already fought this thing once,
Cool.
and this thing's dead, and the guy who was doing it is dead, and you're doing a little better at it. So here we go.
No successes. Okay.
Oh, come on.
2. Why did that only roll?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not
first
a
of all,
right roll.
It didn't roll right.
Did you
Yes.
add
I
in?
have
Did
a
you put in a
shit ton.
plus sign, or did you just type 2?
I put in a plus sign.
Don't put in a plus sign. And roll
Okay,
that.
so just
Yeah.
1.
Just add
Oh.
There
plus
we
sign.
go.
Fucks it. You can do a minus sign, but a plus sign fucks it all up.
Fucks with
That's-
it. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
3
so
successes.
Okay, you win round 1.
Okay.
You get out in
Round
front
2.
of it, and you stopped the breach. The question: can it win round 2? Stand by.
Okay.
You can use that comtech to gain a +1 on your next roll too, if you want.
Oh my gosh, 2 and 2. You can either spend a story point, or we go to a tiebreaker round.
Well, if she can use a stunt for her last comtech roll, because she had 3, that can give her a plus
That is
1
also
dice.
true. It makes me better. I think one of my abilities is it makes me better at the next time I do the
Says
same
you don't
thing.
need to roll to overcome the exact same challenge in the future, or you do it quickly in half the time. You get new or unexpected information. You hide your tracks. or +1 modification.
I'll just do the +1 then.
Yeah.
Because I think that's better.
Just
Because
roll
I don't
a-
want to have to just immediately do it. I'm fighting an intelligent
So you can roll
AI.
a d6. Instead if it's
Okay.
a 6, it's a success. If not, story point will do it.
6. That's a 4. Okay, let's go to the third, and then if I need to, I will story point it. Let's do the third round. Because I like that thematically, having to
Back and forth.
go. Yeah,
All right, here we go.
Could also
You said
push
it's
it
just
if you really needed to.
+1, right?
Yes.
2 successes. Okay.
So you could add +2.
I'm-
Oh my
no,
god!
I'm fine. I'm
7
totally
and
fine.
no panic.
7
Let's just see you
successes.
crushed it. My God.
Nope, I know what I'm doing. You are in my ship. This is my place. You don't come into my house and fuck with my computers. Get the fuck out of here. Hell no. And then as that happens, as I root it out in
An
the
alien
final,
at the other guy?
final round, yeah, the alien turns and just obliterates the third Dr. Lin.
And when the ship gets here, we still have one Dr. Lin left, and they don't know he's been hacked.
Nope.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah.
I'm a little terrifying, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, just
Which
a
is
little bit.
why
Just a
we're
little
friends.
Yeah, this. I do all of this for my Marines. Like,
If
imagine
you
if I wasn't
if you
on
get
your
hacked
side.
and compromised,
Real
we're all
bad.
dead.
yeah,
We're all
you're
dead.
all dead. Hell yeah. Sorry.
Cool as
That
a
was great.
cucumber. You're just like.
That was great. No, and like you said it in, so we've got our group chat going, and you're like, it's a little creepy that you're getting more calm the closer you're getting to the Remington.
Mm-hmm.
The Remington is me. It makes sense. I am complete now. This is my element. This is my house. Get the fuck out.
It's like going home.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Epic.
that was great.
Amazing.
Dr. Lin, the good Dr. Lin.
The good
looks at
Dr.
you
Lin.
and he's watching on the screen as the events in the cafeteria take place. And he looks at you and drops his chin.
Mm-hmm.
What are your orders?
What are my orders? First things first. I pop on comms. I just hold up a finger and I'm like, one moment. And I hop on comms, a direct channel to McKeelson, which I can do since I'm on the Remington. Hey, Cap. How you doing?
Violet, thank God. Is everything alright?
Yeah, did the Hephaestus make it? Are you guys okay?
It's
Nobody died
incoming.
while I was-
It's getting closer now. Yeah,
Ooh,
nobody's
okay.
dead yet that I'm aware of.
Everything's under control. I have one of the doctors, Lynn. The other two attempted to infect the Remington and take it over. It's the most intelligent AI I've ever seen. Ever. It's kind of terrifying, and I'm kind of in love with it.
Not smarter than you, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's not smarter than me. One of the doctors, Lynn, is on our side now. And the other two have been disposed of. So, yeah.
That's great to hear.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if I made you guys worry. I know I kind of just like dipped. And please tell Granger I'm sorry.
I'm standing next to Granger, so
Yeah.
I would imagine Granger can hear this.
Violet doesn't know that. Please
Yeah.
tell Granger I'm sorry. He was understandably upset, and I didn't mean to upset him. And I realized that what I did probably made him like me less. But you guys are alive and fine, and they didn't take me. So
Could you maybe talk to that Dr. Lin that you do have and get him to tell us everything he wasn't telling us? Like what?
oh yeah, that's the plan.
Like maybe he knows why that if that ship is actually full of Death Marines that are coming here
Right.
to murder us. Yep.
Yeah, that was part of the plan. I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. I'm all good.
Appreciate the open and honest communication. Communication
Sorry.
is key. Great.
Yeah, and
Nope.
again, sorry that I just kind of dipped out. And please tell Chow I'm sorry. I think they were okay. I didn't.
Well, she's just
intentionally
been having a
hurt
lie
them.
down.
Okay, good. She's fine. I mean, I made sure I did it right so she wouldn't be injured. So good to
She
hear.
remembers nothing. So
Good. I'm gonna stay up here for a little bit and make sure everything's okay. Get resituated. You have the Hephaestus. I gave over full control.
Great.
Command to you, specifically you.
Okay.
So just call me if you need me.
Will
I'll be in
do.
contact.
Keep in touch with
Sorry.
any updated information. The Marines are already relieved to see the Hephaestus coming in, so that's great.
Good. And again, I'm so sorry.
Right now we're gonna.
I didn't like that.
I understand. Appreciate your loyalty.
I was just flying by the seat of my pants, so.
Yep. Great. We're going to consolidate the refugees in one area. Hopefully that doesn't go terribly wrong.
Okay, good luck. Call me if you need me.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I turned to Granger, like, you called all that, right?
Yep.
So
I'm so sorry I took those kills. Yeah, those kills away
the
from
doctor
you.
is Lynn.
It's like I just had one thing I wanted to do. Yeah, I've been trying to kill them for months now. It's all I
They are
wanted.
pretty assholish.
Sorry.
Yeah, I knew they were.
You know, Valentina's still upstairs if you're really upset, and Violet said she didn't care about her.
I don't. That's not true. I said we're not gonna kill her at the end of last episode.
Oh, at the end of last episode, okay. Then Mikhail someone has said that. Because I'm just be like, well, there might be a lot of chest bursters to murder soon.
That's not the same thing.
It's really
more
not
satisfying to just.
I wouldn't know, but I'll take your word for it.
It's die and breed.
We got the ship in. Coming in.
No, Marines aren't fun to shoot at. They shoot
no,
back
I meant
really well.
the Hephaestus.
Oh, all right.
So we're not stuck here when things happen.
Are we evacuating? You know.
I think it might be good to at least prepare for evacuation, get that ball rolling, you know.
Okay. All right. Who's flying? Since Chow's
Chow's up. She's awake. She's just taking the nap now. She's just being lazy now.
I
don't blame her. Oh no, I gave her a very thorough medical checkup.
All right.
She's alright.
I'll prepare stems.
Good idea. I've got some in this pocket.
Okay, so let's do a little bit of a time. Let's just talk about the next few minutes of game time here. You just received that transmission. What are Blaze and the upstairs crew doing?
Well, we were not notified yet.
Not yet,
that,
no.
Yeah, Bella was gone, so we're still working our
You know
way
that
out.
the ship's coming, but yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're gonna be working our way.
And that
out,
consolidation's
so-
gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, up because we're below, right?
No,
Up.
you're up. The egg is up.
We're up. Yeah.
It's on top.
Okay, so we're gonna work our way elevators and down. We need to destroy
And label
this
the top of the
aliens.
maps.
Okay. And we need to destroy the alien sample, the alien critter that's frozen, and get this Dr. Vic and the patient probably up to Captain and the crew and see what's going on. Just check in.
Okay, so Blaze and the doctor and his wife and Fellows go upstairs. Okay. And do we establish that the rest of the Marines stay upstairs to supervise the repair in the control room and to keep an eye on the refugees who we have yet to move? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds about right. Yes.
All right, cool. So then
Maybe it's time to move the refugees.
Yeah.
But the ship hasn't landed yet. Wasn't sure yet, but we
Yeah,
we
ship's
should,
not landed
we
in.
should do that. It's definitely on the radar.
We're
It's not like it's
securing
not.
the room.
I haven't
Right.
heard anything. It's been radio silent, so I don't know
Mhm.
when or how long the ship's going to be. I don't know. So
yes. Okay. To that, we cut downstairs and the Hephaestus comes down, hovers over the landing pad, and rests comfortably down on its landing gear. And the what happens after that, Becky? Does it-
The ramp would open. I think actually no, the ramp would not open. McKeelson would get a ping on their data pad saying that the Hephaestus has arrived and that you have full operational control. Door doesn't open until McKeelson decides what to do. Because I don't want any foreign objects creeping up onto that ramp while one's there.
Understandable.
Yep.
We have learned so much.
We have so many lessons.
So many life lessons.
So many.
In this campaign.
Okay. So Granger, are you still up there in the landing area?
Oh yeah. I'm right over by where Captain McKeelson was.
All right. Great. Ping. I would get the ping on my landing pad. Go, Granger. Would you mind getting Chow settled in at the pilot's console area?
Absolutely.
Great. We're gonna start rolling things along. This is your captain speaking. The Hephaestus has landed. Could I get a check-in from everyone, please? Like, I just want everyone to make sure that no one's mysteriously gone missing or silent. Like, I'm just doing a sound off at this point, now that we've gotten this far.
Do you want
Okay.
Let's just say. Good.
Oh no, you
Sound
go
off?
first, Blaze.
Okay. Blaze would check in, be like, Blaze here. I'm with Dr. Vic. Just did a surgery, extracted a specimen. We're gonna destroy it. We're on our way up.
You successfully extracted?
Yeah.
McKeelson's
Yeah.
looked into this, and that's not supposed to be possible as far as McKeelson knows.
We're on our way up to talk to you now about it.
Okay, yeah, you do that. Yep. You do that.
We get that medical equipment aboard our ship.
Yes, we did. We did the equipment.
Absolutely.
Specimen.
And then I'll wait for everybody else to sound off and check in. Is there anybody who doesn't check in, GM?
Everybody successfully checks in.
Okay, good.
All the Marines does not.
Okay. That's ours doing her thing. That's fine.
And Granger, you can clearly see R through the glass with her purple goggles glaring, watching the Hephaestus from the observation deck of the control room, while busy work takes place over her shoulders.
Okay.
Her arms are folded.
Her arms are folded. She's looking emotionless, or
She looks confident and poised.
confident and poised.
And her body language is very different than it was even just a few minutes ago.
Okay. Captain, did you McKeelson open the ship?
Oh, McKeelson would have opened it for Granger and Chow, and then closed it behind y'all, and you can open it from the inside if you need to get off.
Yeah. So I'll recognize that as I'm getting onto the ship. And then I'll set Cho down and make sure that she's okay in the pilot seat, and then I'll radio, Captain.
Yep.
I don't like how she's looking. She seems like, I don't know, the cat that caught the mouse kind of thing right now.
Oh, her plan's to impress, because we're on like our private channels. Oh, her plan's to impersonate Rebecca Steelman when the other ship gets here.
Are you sure she's impersonating, or is she just kind of unlocked some new memories and now she is?
You know, that's a great question, Granger. I'm not a mind reader, and it's more, but I'm hoping Violet gets down here before that other ship does. We can maybe have a nice little talk.
Just so you know, her posture keeps changing. Like, this is kind of some things I notice. It helps me stay.
Yeah.
She's not. That poor thing's gone through a lot since we got here.
Yeah.
But I'm not feeling all that comfortable right now.
Yeah.
Maybe check in with, you know.
I'm gonna get the ball rolling on some tasks for the Marines since I found out apparently a chest burster was successfully extracted from an individual.
Okay.
And maybe get that equipment on our ship.
Well, Killer Supreme Murder Bot not looking like she's a cat with the canary is not something you should put on the back burner.
No, it won't take long to issue orders. And the upstairs console's still not fixed, so.
All right, you and I are going to talk about command, you know, hierarchy of needs kind of conversations here. I'm feeling like we're not on the same page.
Look, they didn't give me captain's training. I say as I go and I start to issue
That's
orders.
the last thing we say.
Yeah.
Like we both. Yep.
They didn't give me. They just elevated me and yeeted me out here. Like that was a bad move on their part.
Thanks for reminding me,
We
Captain.
both agreed. We are both in agreement that I should not be the captain here. And I'm gonna check in with Brewer, see how he's doing on closing off all the air vents and maintenance tunnels and everything in this room.
I would assume I'm almost done.
In like 30 minutes.
I
so
just
probably.
completed it.
Excellent, Brewer. Love to hear that. Great.
Hey,
Yep.
Hephaestus is outside. That's
It
good
is
news.
outside. We are going to be speaking with Blaze and the good Dr. Vic soon. And then loading up. Getting ready to move out. Could
Any
you
task you have for me, Captain?
could you get the people that were in the mess hall, the really kind of crazy poisoned ones? Have October and Bazilli bring them up to this area. Well, they're not infected because they haven't been eating the royal jelly, so they are not chest burstable. They have been excluded from the chest bursting rituals. And by chest bursting rituals, royal jelly snackages. So actually, I would ask them to confine them in the rooms that they were kind of in when we found them, which is like these. They might murder each other while they're in there, but you know, that's not. I can't be responsible for every life on this station.
I
Not
gather
all
I'm
my
Captain.
Marines. These were technically not refugees. They were people who crashed here. Pirates, I believe, who crashed here. So,
So yeah.
yeah, if you could just secure them and then have the Marines come up and we'll start packing up some things.
Will do.
Thank you.
I
And then
head
I'll
up
wait
to
by the
second
elevator
hall.
to speak with Dr. Vic and Blaze as soon as I get there.
Okay. So you go to do that, and they're coming up, and they come up the elevator,
Brew's like, you can't make elevators faster. Goddamn.
and you see Dr. Vic. He is over his panic attack. His wife, he claims, is unconscious in this wheelchair. He's supporting her head like this. She's like this, and he's wheeling her into the main area and seems to be headed right for the ship.
Which
without really
the landing
discussing it.
ramp is not down, so he can't get on the ship.
And he's like standing there, and he's like looking around and looks at you
Dr. Vic!
like, what the hell?
Hey, so I heard you extracted one of those little chest burster things.
Yes,
Wait.
this facility does have the equipment to remove a specimen.
You've done this before?
Yes.
Great. You don't happen to have one in you. You don't need an extraction, do you?
No.
Okay. Could you... Is there enough equipment and things to extract everybody that's up there?
Conceivably, yes.
That is much better than the chest bursting alternative. We can't take those people off the planet with, you know, it's a big transportation hazard, so why don't we've got a lovely med bay on the ship. Why don't I get your lovely wife inside, comfortable, you know, because he thinks I'm a doctor, because I have introduced myself as such, and he hasn't had question to doubt me yet. But I get her all comfortable, situated, maybe private suite. You start extracting people upstairs so that we can get some refugee.
All of them?
Well, the fewer that burst out of chests,